Hey Saber fans, been a while since I made a video, so I figured I'd come back with the most difficult install I've ever done on a Saber. So, this one and one other. There's another one I'll be making a video for today. They were insanely tasking and complicated. And this is the first one I'm going to show you. It's amazing. It is a Lux Sabers Yoda hilt. So this is from a run, I think 2 to 3 years ago, somewhere around that time frame. And it's got Shtok Custom Worx chassis in it. And I had to do a slight amount of modifying to this to get it to work, and I was scratching my head for a while trying to get some form of chassis retention in it, because all these little greeblies up here, they're too high up for chassis retention. So I ended up using this little brass greebly over here for chassis retention. But without further ado, has a 24-inch blade. It's really loud. Neopixel Proffie. Like, geez, look how tiny that is. Like, this isn't even hand and a half. This is single hand, without a doubt. Color changing on the fly, of course. Let's try to get it back to green. Let's see, what is, I think it's, yeah, lightning. Yeah, that's cool. Beautiful hilt. I know there's been a lot of Yodas surfacing here recently. Let's see, there's Corband who's selling KR Sabers, Yoda, there's I think 89 Sabers teased one a while back. There's also another one. Oh yeah, CC Sabers. Yeah, there's a bunch of different Yodas coming out right now. The chassis. This is the part that really shines. So, removable speaker in the pommel via Shtok Pcb. Got these nice little blinkies down in there. Some of you might remember Shtok's, whenever he did this, actually he used a what was the name of that company? It was a Frog Apprentice by Lethal Crystal, that's what it was. And he did one of these with, which he originally designed his chassis for, and then he modified the dimensions to fit the Lux Sabers Yoda. And it works, don't get me wrong, it works. But one of the key differences I noticed was on the Lethal Crystal, there's like a slide switch here, or on the other side it actually slides up and down, which this does not, but it still works either way. So normally this is the part that hooks into the slide switch. Now it's a battery removal tool. So here is that beautiful chassis. Wouldn't mind it if my camera focused a little better here. That never works for me. Let's see what happens. Oh well. You get the idea though. But super cram foo build. Because, you know, it has those two blinkies on the bottom. You know, Neopixel LED, and nice brass top. Got your two little small tactile switches there. And I noticed on Dimitri's old chassis, there's actually one switch up here and one switch down here because there's such a gap in between the two, and cramming those two right there was kind of challenging, I'm not gonna lie. but there are side strips. I need to fix the color in the programming. That's changing a GRB to an RGB, but you know, easy peasy. Just haven't gotten around to doing it yet. A little kill switch on the bottom. Battery level indicator. And like I said before, this little slide tab that goes here, you can technically use it for a battery removal tool. Slide it in there, push on a little bit, removes the positive, and boom. This was definitely the most challenging install I've ever done. Hands down. Let's see if I can get these switches to line up perfectly the first time. Oh, a little too far. There we go. Get the little greebly on there. Yeah, this little side greebly, it was originally threaded with like a couple millimeters of M3 thread. So I ended up just drilling into that and adhering a M3 set screw in it. That way it acts as retention. After you get over the shroud, it's in there really good. It's really loud too, in case you didn't get it. It even comes with this nice little blade plug too. Very very model car inspired. I don't know everything about this particular replica, or as far as since this was modeled from a vintage Flash, and it's a replica of that, but I know that the old emitter was like a Lamborghini hubcap from a model car. Now I think this was like from an oil pan, and the grips I'm not sure about, and I think everything else was part of the Flash unit. Now this is, God, it's so tiny. I love it. I have a baby Yoda hilt coming from Shadow Foil Props here soon. I'm excited to see that one too. But man, this one is just, it's like perfect for kids, adults, whatever, because it's like a perfect Shoto. And, you know, with a 24-inch blade, which, according to, I think it was FX Sabers forums or something, 22 inches was his length, so I counted for that because the blade depth, but yeah, this is a super awesome hilt. Deep blade depth, too. Look at that blade depth. I'd say it's... I'm actually curious how deep this is. Now, I know Lux Sabers teased doing another run. A little over an inch. Really good blade depth then for this tiny of a hilt. I know Lux Sabers teased another run of his Yoda hilt, this hilt specifically, but I'm wondering if he's going to do it now, considering there's so many Yodas surfacing right now. I think Ultimate Worx mentioned they're doing another one here soon. Well, they've already done a run, but you know what I mean. Either way. And I know this isn't like 100% accurate as far as, you know, like grip aligning and the box and everything or whatever. I went for more of an idealized look to where everything's in line. Oh, you know, I think it turned out great. Either way, few small parts and bits and bobs on this that needed Loctited in place. You know, I noticed yesterday whenever I was swinging it around, the blade was wobbling a little bit, so I was thinking, okay, maybe some of these bits and bobs, these little screws and fasteners were coming loose, so, you know, you don't use these for anything. They're clearly aesthetic and to hold the blade holder in place. I was like, screw it, blue Loctite, call it a day. A little bit of E6000 on the bottom of the shroud, blue Loctite, this brass greebly in place, call it a day. But yeah, that is strange. It's taken me so long to finish this hilt. I can't even begin to tell you how much of a pain in the butt this was to finish. It's totally worth it. But would I ever do another one again? Hell no. No way in hell. Either way, thanks for watching, and until next time, may the Force be with you always.